Okay, I guess we're live. Well, man, I'm tripping over stuff. Still getting used to how things work here in Streamland. It is almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I planned on getting onto this for at least an hour, but um, what I ended up getting into was I want to try to understand exactly how the tech that I've got actually works. There's a one guy that does a video for like a minute on this camera, and being able to use it as a webcam. And I'm trying to get more content out there. I've had this for a little bit, and it throws out 160 degrees of a wide angle lens. So, um, like for instance, today, I've got a uh, a converted microphone stand with a selfie stick that I use to hold my phone so that I can record while I'm airbrushing, but I cannot see what the camera sees. So for a lot of what I was doing while I was talking, okay, good. Okay, fine. Computer's talking to me. I was in the way of what I was painting, and I'm trying to find other ways of getting this content out there. I can't have somebody like when I see some Facebook Live stuff from Nub Graphics. There's a really nice couple of people there that help him out. They help him out by holding the camera while he works. Somebody else is asking and answering questions, and I don't have that. It's just me. So I'm just getting used to this here. It's probably going to take a couple of tries. So let's see. I'm trying to throw out notifications to anybody that might be up at 3. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know Shane is streaming. I just saw Ethan throwing up some comments. So like maybe who knows if he's bored, he'll come in and throw some jokes at me or whatever. But I'm sure he's busy. A lot of the guys that I know that do artwork for a living it'll be up all night. They're freaking vampires, and I've been there too. But I'm trying to figure out how to find freaking the people I want to find on Twitter. And let's see. I'm just going for whoever. Geez, if I can even remember names. No. I know. Let's see if that works. I'll throw a message out to this dude here. Let's see, is this? Uh-huh. So we'll throw one out to Death Sworn, Monkey Sworn, see if that works. I just want to see. I'm basically just casting the line. Somebody shows up, they show up. If they don't, they don't. I'm not really worried about it. I always manage to get these guys. I see these streams when I'm at work.
Just a moment.
For crying out loud, are you serious? I hate that if I'm like watching a movie on my phone and somebody says just the right thing. They'll stop playing the movie and start freaking Siri shows up. Add, remove, view topics, blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada. Oh, I thought I was following already. All right. No, I guess I wasn't. Okay. That's for notifications. All right, let's see if I can like look for anybody else. Now throw out, let's see. All right, so it looks like, and this is, again, this is me getting used to some stuff. Add, remove, copy link, mute. You just can't. Messages. I guess you just can't throw them out to everybody. Anyways. I got to get used to this. I mean, since example of a banner show. Okay. Create. Okay. There. Scroll. Add. All right. Hiding this. All right. There we go. Let's see. Brand. I know I got one of these. Is that going to work? Yep. It goes up there like that. Overlay. Do I even have an overlay? Let's see what this looks like if I just do this as an overlay and see if I just want to see what it does on the screen. No. I'm going to have to create an overlay, which makes sense. Yeah, delete that overlay. Can't see anything. Video clips, background, leaves background. No. Let's see if there's a background here. Let's see if I can find something cool from I can feel myself upgrading a computer pretty soon. Here, we'll make it look like I'm at the town ballroom. Let's see if this works. Upload background. I wonder how this works. Or does it only work? Only works with a green screen, I guess. Yeah, see your background. If you have a guest, or sharing a screen, or remove your camera from the broadcast. Let's see what that looks like. Stop cam. No. Let's see. Stop cam. No. Where is it? Nope. All right. We'll take that off. Delete background. Okay. All right. Well, there's going to be some shit to learn. Upload, overlay, chat with your guests, private, broadcast quality settings, camera. audio that can be heard, speaker, line out, green screen. Your browser doesn't support the green screen feature. Well, get on it, Brave. Jeez. If your device has a GPU, it's possible browser is preventing StreamYard from accessing it. You can only... Okay, I'll have to look into that later. Play a sound when a guest enter. Sure. Band guests. Oh, I feel like a freaking king. Banners. Brand. All right, well, this is what it looks like so far. 10 minutes of that crap. Okay. Yeah, I need to, I guess, learn about this some more. And then, it's going to be one of those things where, people are going to have to actually want to come on the stream. I know this much. I do a lot better with other people than I do just with myself. I know that I can go off on tangents. I'm going to be getting much better at that. And a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing in my feed is political. No secret there. So, anyways, I'm going to go and do some... Sorry, guys. Oh, this is just stupid. Oh, Brave tab. This has got to be it. Yeah. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Is this I mean, seriously. Now, ironically, I bet this person doesn't even go out and vote, or they're not old enough to, or they don't know how to. I mean, the amount of the amount of misinformation and abject hate that you have to have for somebody that this person clearly is not watching the news. They're unclear of what current events is. You don't do something like this if you have even a cursory knowledge of what's going on in the world and with this administration. This is somebody who's just been lied to, and they're probably happy about it. Yeah, at any rate. And this stuff is just all over the place. Freaking stupid. Yeah, and just it's been this entire election cycle has been absolutely crazy. I mean, even beyond, like, I got into politics and during the Clinton administration, and I could see how stupid they were back then. Just, I mean, just keep in mind, okay, this person right here with the beard and the nose ring and the, like, I don't know what's going on with this here. The Twitter founder and CEO. This is the person who's deciding what you can and can't see. This is the person who's deciding what entire newspapers are allowed to put up on their platform, and taking their 230 protections and just throwing them out the window. I'm not even sure this person even understands what that means. Your platform, you're basically a park pavilion that other people can just walk into and party and then leave, and that's it. There's no cleanup or anything. That's what you have. You created that. You're making money off of it, but now you deign to be the person who decides what can and can't be seen, read, heard. God complex. Unacceptable. And yeah, I'm judging him on his looks. I mean, first impressions. I mean, well, they say you don't judge a book by its cover, but then you have people like people who would go in and get a Conan book cover because it had Frazetta artwork on it, never read the damn book. So I'm not even sure that applies. No, this is all right. I'm sorry. I was gonna do some character design here, but this is too good. And besides, I need to be able to get through this. Let's see if this is right. Share audio. I need to be able to get this right.
Two swords.
All right. This is the first time I'm ever seeing this.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas. Not often a dude ruins your face, skull stomps your sanity, grabs your future baby mama, and personally sees to 4 of your 5 shittiest moments. Let's just say, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop and stainless steel. Go hard getting busy.
Two swords. And maximum effort.
These tears.
Is this too loud for me, or I don't even know if this affects the way everybody else hears it.
What's my name? Ooh, I'ma fucking spell it out for you. Okay, so.
Superhero landing. You gonna do a superhero landing? Wait for it! Woo! Superhero landing!
Yay.
Yeah, that's really hard on your knees. Totally impractical. They all do it. You're a lovely lady, but I'm saving myself for Francis. That's why I brought him.
I prefer not to hit a woman, so please play.
I mean, that's why I brought her? Oh no, finish your tweet. It's not, that's fine. Just give us a second. There you go. Hashtag it. Go get it, Tiger.
Oh, I so pity the
Fake news.
Okay. Finally got him in there at the last. Fake news. Not bad. Not bad. Come on. What is this? CDC numbers reveal hospitals counted over 130,000 deaths from pneumonia, influenza, and heart attack as COVID-19. Well, that can't be true because that's one American network. So clearly, we're being lied to. That can't possibly be. AOAN, NTD. They're not real news networks. They just basically tell you what's going on and then leave it at that. Like a news station should. I don't want to be on this forever. That's oh geez. Okay. Yeah, it's bad. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get into please be running already. Good. Cosmic Thumbs, comic pages. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this one up just because this one image. Come on, I can feel myself upgrading. I'll share this screen here. Oh my goodness. Cancel. All right. I'm not even sure. Like some of the stuff I need to I need to get rid of because I think I don't want to end up with a ton of extra stuff. Yeah, ton of extra stuff. Where is it? It's probably not even on here. It's probably over in freaking Dropbox. Yeah. Nope. I'm sorry, guys. trying to figure this out. I just moved a whole bunch of stuff around my computer. So comics, yeah. Blank asphalt. What the hell? Oh, it's in the sketchbook. Yeah, it's going to take up a ton of space in there. Oh my God. Yeah, I can feel myself upgrading this computer. I've already zapped the PRAM a couple of times, and all I'm doing is like opening folders and looking for stuff. Oh, man, I get in the spinning beach ball of death for what? It's probably because I'm running. What? Is it because is it because I'm like streaming? No, this is going on. Is that it? Yeah, I mean, this is something that's something I think I grabbed from Wizard. All right, screw that. I got to get better at this. I'm going to get better at this, so not like super worried. All right. All right. So now I think I might just have to bring the resolution down on this thing because yeah, see, it's at 300 pixels per inch. I'm gonna have to look into this. It's not. I know it shouldn't be this slow, and it might have something to do with the way the brushes are set or the way my my Photoshop is set up. But it was something that I remember. Was it Shane Davis saying that John Malin was talking about keeping your DPI at 450 in case something needed to be printed at another. Maybe it's going to be a poster. Maybe it's going to be something else that requires a higher DPI than 300. So I'm just taking the advice and going with it. Come on, brushes. Where are they? And I'm looking for like a 2H pencil. All right. So one character that I'm trying to work on here is I believe his name is Darren. Darren EMT. And this is a team member for a book called ASPHALT. And basically because it has to do with there's going to be an aspect to of automobiles and cars. It's not going to be a comic book about cars, but it's just a fancy way of saying street justice. So I'm just going to do a basic standing pose here, and because this is something that I'm going to need to study too. I have this character described as the he's basically the I would say called the team medic. Let's see. Maybe I'll see. If I put hands in his pockets, maybe, or one hand in his pocket. But we're talking basically about he's an EMT. I'll just read it to you right here and then get back to it. Darren is an EMT. He's about 35. He does the drugs, the stitches, the info on potential victims of the team. I don't want to call them victims. They're perpetrators. But he'll be able to get info on our targets as their victims. Okay, so info on victims admitted to the hospital. Anybody coming to a hospital, there's going to be, list of injuries, home address, people that are connected to them, and it's sort of like having a Commissioner Gordon be able to, give info to Batman. Oh, sorry. Or Clark Kent working at the Daily Planet. It's an information hub. So basically what happens is when I first thought of this character, when I first thought of Meat Hook, that he would basically be something of a mobile X-ray technician, and I thought, well, he's not going to be able to do that. There's too many moving parts, so I needed more characters to fill in those parts, and I don't think anybody would practically be able to do what our character is going to do without a team. So let's see. Sorry, guys. I gotta try more. Try better at this. So what happens is because this is a practical version. Ew. Oh God, I'm seeing some gross stuff on freaking Twitter. Yuck. Okay, so I can message. Talking at the same time. Oh man, it's coming out worse than text. All right. I'm just thinking about people to throw out invites to, and that way I can keep them in my messenger list, so that if I need to throw out invites in the future, and this is the way information comes across to me. It's just one of those things. I think of it, I got to do it, or write it down, or whatever, or I'll forget it. And it's just basically crazy. I'm gonna have to get up tomorrow, go to the shop, sand these parts, clear them again, sand them and polish them, and bring them back to the Harley dealership. So EMT Darren, he is an ER doctor. He's 35. He takes care of all the drugs, the stitches, the info on the victims admitted to the hospital. He'll have information for our team there. His car is a custom van with hidden compartments, and it's something that I thought of where I love custom vans. I would love to have a custom van, but if you've ever seen Mother Jugs and Speed, the one ambulance is a Chevy G20 van, and it's just pretty hopped up, but it's full of drugs and stuff. I mean, it's an ambulance. These drugs will be tucked away. Darren's parents are your typical former hippies, the last of an all but gone breed of, quote, deadheads. The common joke between them being that his custom 1976 G20 van would be a whole lot cooler if it was a VW bus. A custom van, however, stylized on the inside, doubles as an emergency vehicle. So in this version of vigilantism, the concept is, what if Batman didn't have billions of dollars? What if he had to do things on his own? In order to be that effective, he'd have to have help. Our main character, which right now I'm calling him Shane. And I've been calling him Shane for a while. I don't want to come across as some simp factory, because that's not the case. It's very close to my son's name, but I didn't want to do something like that. So, but the point is our main character is a master mechanic, welder, fabricator. So he would be the type of person that you would see in the guy that makes Daredevil's costume in the Netflix series. But he's, taking care of business himself, creating his own weapons, creating his own defenses, and tries to do it on his own. But, if we want to be realistic about it, it's never going to happen. And this is Darren is one of the team members. So you'd never guess what manner of life-saving equipment is hiding under the bed and other places in this basically shag and wagon. It's like a love shack van. Darren's folks raised him on the road. He's well-traveled, well-read, has an extensive knowledge of every illegal narcotic from the era, including strains of pot, peyote, uppers, downers, cocaine, etc. The rest he learned in medical school. He might be a medical school dropout that goes to be an EMT. I don't know exactly how extensive your knowledge of, drugs and painkillers and things like that you can be, but I do remember. I can tell you exactly where I managed to pull this from was a scene in Fear the Walking Dead. The kid in the very beginning, the drug addict. He was able to rattle off what you couldn't do with whatever drug. Now, he wasn't your typical drug addict. He was a well versed in uppers and downers, what they do and don't do. But the rest he learned in medical school. You wouldn't assume Darren to be anything but a burned out hippie from a former time in his tie-dye cargo shorts and Birkenstocks. And he practices Tai Chi. So what we're dealing with here is basically he's an archetype. He's how do I want to put his head off to the side, kind of looking up like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm working on a Wacom tablet in Intuos 3. I'm really going to have to look into how into the performance of this thing, because on this brush I'm getting good reaction. On this ink brush, it's a little bit of lag. And on this one, see, is that what I was using before? Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I just have like Windows open or something. I've never had problems with this computer before, but it seems like once I've got 4 hard drives in this thing, and maybe if they all start spinning at the same time, maybe it starts to give me issues. But okay, I can say keep this chin down here, and I kind of want them to be. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to go like super typical, but it's I've never done this before. In past streams, I've been able to ramble off things about my art career, and I don't think I took that one down. It's what would you call it? A bearing my soul, and who gives a shit? But my art career did not go the way of it didn't go the way of comic books, and the thing that's so interesting to me about the Comicsgate movement and listening to these guys talk about all the the experiences they had at working in comics. You really feel like you missed out on something. I've always been, I've always been self-employed one way or another. Anytime I worked for somebody else, it was always in some airbrush shop in the mall, and there's a certain sense of camaraderie there, but there's no like corporate industry type aspect to it. It's always very loosey goosey, very very beach or in the mall or whatever. And let's see if I can make this. Need something to wet my whistle. Yeah, so it sounds like Should you be smiling? Sounds like it sounds like it was a really good time. Sounds like there's like a lot of memories and stuff, and I have them too. But I've been doing custom paint by myself for so long that I'm not even going to try to think about what he's holding in his hand. I've been doing custom paint for so long by myself. The only real interaction that I have with other people in the field are the rare times that I get out to a show, and I don't even want to, go to. And even when you do go out to a show or an event like what did you call it, like a rally. The only people you're ever talking to are your future customers, answering the same questions over and over again, and and I've said it before. I don't I don't have anything but great respect and thanks for the people who have and still do spend their money on me. Let's see, cargo shorts. We're gonna have a pocket there and some pocket thing looking like that. But I'm not around anybody that I've got serious common ground with. It's all like I can have a conversation with the people that I know from from body shop and stuff, but I don't even want to say like I've burned out on it. So maybe I'm copping out on the hands and the pockets. It looks like his wrist is coming up this way. So I'll just, put some fingers down. I don't know. I feel like he should be, I feel like he should be tall and skinny. I remember seeing an episode of, and I'm dating myself here, an episode of Emergency a long time ago when I was a kid. And the emergencies that these guys would show up on, some of them would be whimsical. Like I remember seeing a kid got his head stuck in between what would you call them? In between the dowel rods of a staircase railing, trying to watch a baseball game or something like that. Freaking, what do you do? I call the ambulance. They show up and they smear Axel grease all over his head to get his head out. And but one of them was this somebody was having a hamburger eating contest, and there was just too many hamburgers from the one dude, and the joke at the end of it was, okay, well, you just take it easy, this, that, and the other thing, and the joke was that he didn't even win the hamburger eating contest. This other guy did. And the camera pans over, and it's the skinniest person you've ever seen. So, do we do this? Do we do typical John Lennon glasses on here? Gotta hum to myself. I can't listen to music because I'll end up getting. I was thinking about this too, and maybe somebody has an answer someday. This is all stuff I'm going to keep talking about it until I'm either, I'll be invited on a stream, or and somebody might show up on this stream someday, and we'll be able to talk about, like, why can't we be talking about a good piece of music, or and just have it playing in the background, and then throw a link in the description of, like, this is where you get this awesome music on iTunes. Why? I mean, does that mean that you get a copyright strike anyways for that? Let's see. I've been listening to a lot of hair metal lately. So, and here, look, if I throw a headband on this guy, I mean that's just way too typical. It's like giving it away. Nobody's actually gonna walk around looking like some shaggy hippie. Being able to draw the human figure is one thing, but being able to manipulate those forms into a recognizable character, it's that you can draw consistently over and over again. I mean, these are the challenges I find myself in, and there's these days where I'm like thinking to myself, why am I even trying to do this? Yes, you can draw. Okay, great. That's great. And I don't consider myself to be the greatest artist in the world. It's always going to be a matter of it's always going to be subjective. But I also know that the more I do it, the more rust, as it were, gets knocked off, and I'll be more efficient. What I've been doing with my art, and I mean like this version of it. I don't actually pencil anything. I know how to draw. I know how to how to airbrush and pinstripe. But what I'm doing for my customers when I do that is just basically indicating, like, all right, here's your tank. Okay, this is the gas cap here, and this is where we're putting your skull with the flames. And not that that's the extent, of the art. I've thrown some concept art up there for people to understand more basic or more in depth ideas. This is what we're going to do here. This is what these reapers are gonna look like here. So what are we doing with this hair? I'm not sure. I think we might try to. I mean, I don't want it looking like one of my other characters. I already did a version of my tech guy. Let me go. What am I doing here? Okay. Right here, this is our main character. This is a title treatment. I scanned this in and added some color. And the rest of this is, I was just following along with David Finch on some exercises that he was doing. This is our guy, Meat Hook, and then just some hand studies. So let's see. Gestures, something I did for and one of the characters is a DA. I was working on her. I think she still might need some refinement. I don't know if I'm going to go with the glasses, because if I'm putting hippie glasses on this guy, and then here's another image of Meat Hook coming at you one day. Biker boots. What do you call it? Like a basic, like hard denim workwear and a straight jacket. He's going to be armor plated, but you won't see any of that. So, and then this is our techie guy, Ted. Okay, so I'm thinking about adding another character too, somebody that's got a little bit more mystery, because I was talking to one of my friends about this the other night. I had him over and I believe I spoke about this. Wait a second. I know what to do. You know, and look, anybody that happens to be watching this after, I'm way open to opinion. I got a neighbor down the street, and I think this is how stuff like this happens. I know people go. I've seen people go bald at 35. So maybe what we're gonna do is maybe we'll do like a receding hairline. You know, and a lot of this stuff is up in the air as far as like the characters go. I'm writing it. I've already tried going through I'm trying to write a first page treatment that starts off with a meat hook in action, and then goes to and then goes to a hard stop into the origin story. Okay, so then I guess what we're gonna do for him is just to give you a more a quick idea. In profile, we'll have this. So he's going to be one of these guys, sensitive ponytail guy. Okay, not a lot of hair up here, but the little bit that he's got is going to go into ponytail like that. That's what my plan is. Do you get tagged or copyright struck for humming a song? Because I've had this. I think it was like mid '90s or early '90s. I mean, I come from I'm steeped in hair metal for a long time. I haven't been getting back into it lately, but one of my favorites was kind of a I don't want to say Johnny Come Lately, because George Lynch was playing with Dokken for so long, and then when he went off and did his own thing, that's when right when good metal was on its way out, and good metal was on its way out, and grunge was on its way in. They put out a couple of records. I only have two of them, but there's a rendition of Queen's "Tie Your Mother Down" on the second album that I mean I've heard the original before. I seriously like this one a lot better, especially when it comes to the guitar solo. And I know that's saying a lot. I mean, Brian May's, one of the greats. Okay, let's see. But that song's been going through my head. I know this is going to be like loose in the beginning. Is it just me, or does sometimes like being able to am I the only one that like I always like just stop at pencils because you've already drawn it and you don't want to like draw it again and keep refining it, where sometimes I just want the drawing to be over and finished, and I feel like I need to find that place where the process of cleaning something up feels is just as much of a ride, where you get as much enjoyment out of putting the black and the white in over something that you've already drawn. You get as much enjoyment out of that as you got from getting the original image up there in the first place. That's exactly how that hand should go. And then, I love the placement of that leg or whatever. But then when you start inking, you're like, man, I just drew this. I'm drawing it again. And there's a redundancy there that, let's see, look at my own sleeve here and see what it's doing. It's doing this. I know. I think I talked about this before. Yeah. The David Finch video on doing fabric. unfolds. That's a good video. So being close to Halloween, my wife is telling me that our youngest daughter is going to be at a friend's house, and we should do something together. Our neighbors across the street used to throw this killer Halloween party, which is great because I think I need to bring this out more. I mean, like literally across the street. Funny thing too, you're across the street, and one of the great things about being just across the street, clearly, you get dressed up, you take your pictures, you go across the street to your neighbors who's throwing the killer Halloween party, and who also brews his own killer beer. So there's that, and then everybody brings food. It's a great party. But the great thing about it is that you don't have to worry about driving home. What could possibly happen? You're not going to get hurt, right? Well, it's a neighborhood like any others. A lot of the houses are laid out the same, and I think my wife, the one year, actually broke her foot because she walked through the front door and expected, what do you call it? She expected the threshold of the front porch. That she expected it to be the same distance. So when she put her foot down, there was no porch there, and she put her weight on it wrong and actually broke one of the bones in her foot. Now I had left the party already. I'd had my fill, and it was at home, was in bed. Our other daughter was there. She wasn't drinking. She's old enough to drive, but she wasn't she wasn't drinking. So I got she's like, I think I broke my foot. How did you do that? I don't know. I just walked out. Walked through the door and stepped on the porch, and there it went. Okay, this is confusing me right here. This is going to go this way. This is, yeah, good. I think that's right. Just like that. And then whatever. I mean, this should all be black in here. That's another thing that I'm going to have to get used to is, putting in blacks. I want this to be kind of outside saggy. Okay, that's great. Kind of bunched up over here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be able to get used to Photoshop as long as everything's nice and smooth like this. Somebody must be out going to the bathroom. You can hear him walking around up there. Let's see, arm down here, blah, blah. Yeah, so cargo shorts, pocket there. Pocket like this here. Who knows what's in this pocket? Is it his phone, or is it some works? We don't know. There's a lot of potential that can with the storyline. I mean, if these people are going to be human, okay. So I'm basically what's happening is this. Okay, I'll fill you in on the story, and here it is. our main character I'm waiting for whoever's up to go back to bed. Our main character is a master mechanic, and you've probably heard this one already. Well, you couldn't have heard this one already because nobody's watched any of the other videos. Our main character is a master fabricator, mechanic, works on cars, bikes, like street rods and stuff like that. It's like one of those Discovery Channel guys, you know, they just can make anything out of anything. And he's been in trouble as a kid, you know, in trouble in school. He excels in a couple of things. Oddly enough, he excels in math. I don't think people, you can't work as a welder fabricator and understanding how to, you know, tensile strengths of stuff and, you know, PSIs and stuff like that. You're not going to get very far unless you have pretty good foundation in math. So he's good at math, but he does fight a lot. So, and that's going to be, you know, due to you know, his upbringing. You know, he's got one of those absentee moms. Dad took off. Think of Sean Penn's character in Bad Boys, except he, you know, he found a positive male role model. And where? Well, we'll get to that. So he finds his he has his strength in I think this is going to be tough. Finds a strength in wrestling and in mechanics. Yeah, can I do this? Is this going to work? I don't know. Okay, so so he's got basically, you know, he's got all state level talent in wrestling, but he ends up, you know, dropping it after a while because this natural fighter, he's good at some ground and pound stuff, but he manages to find he's more passionate about, you know, doing the welding and the fabricating and the engine work and stuff like that. So he's like really into cars, and that's where his road takes him. You know, graduates high school and then ends up becoming a sought after, you know, a mechanic, and, you know, and doing his thing for people in those circles, and but also is always finding himself in trouble with the law because, you know, he's always getting in fights. So what ends up happening is he ends up getting a little bit too in deep with the judge. All right, I'm leaving this hand alone for a second. I'll come back to it. I don't know if I'll come back to it tonight. There's a lot of time I need to go to bed. One of these days I'm going to be able to get into a freaking stream and have some fun. I'll just be talking to myself. But so there is, and I'm going to have to do some research on this because I'm not sure that this is a thing. I'm only suspecting that it might be. One of the cops that he knows, you know, because it's one of those towns, you know, like everybody, you know, they know everybody. He's not killing anybody. He's not dealing drugs. He might be doing some recreational stuff, but he's basically just the guy who gets thrown in a drunk tank. Oh, sorry, he gets in trouble for fighting. You know, but you know, runs into one of those judges who's like, yeah, well, this is all bullshit, and I don't think that you should be, you know, you need to be a better person. I'm going to throw some fines at you or whatever that he can't pay. So the one cop in the motor pool, who was Pap, you know what? This guy's going to end up being like a freaking basketball player. He doesn't need to be that tall. whatever. I'll fix it later. So Shane ends up in debt to with these fines, and with the judge and this other cop, Pap, decide is that he's going to work in the motor pool to pay off his fines. So when that happens, he ends up meeting Pap's daughter, and this is one of the things where it'll be one of those contentious things where Pap does not like the idea of his daughter hanging out with this bad boy, but naturally he's a bad boy, so she's going to be all about it. And they end up hooking up, and she gets pregnant, and then ends up dying in delivery. So they basically end up coming to mutual understanding. Hand is stuck on the hand. That he's not able to raise a daughter, so Pap is going to help. He'll just be that grandfather that spends a lot of time with the granddaughter. Seamus can keep his keep his life going. He cleans himself up, and they have this wonderful relationship, kind of like two men and a baby, granddad, dad, and then everybody's favorite little girl, Melody. So what does all that have to do with this guy? I'm going to go super typical here. What does that have to do with this guy? Well, nothing yet. What happens is one of Pap's old friends from the police department entrusts him with evidence that it's solid evidence that implicates the mayor and potentially the governor in a child sex trafficking ring. Well, this took a crazy turn, didn't it? Yes. And while Pap is out taking Melody for, I believe, for like an ice cream, okay, what he does is he has the evidence. I'm not even going to tell you where he puts it, okay, because this is always some place where I thought people would hide stuff. The hand, come on. Okay, goes out for ice cream. I know I'm babbling. He goes out for ice cream with Melody, and then he picks up a tail, okay? Picks up a tail. And, having some experience with cars and driving, this is where I wanted to be able to illustrate a good chase. Maybe, definitely a page and a half, and then some crash. But I wanted to be able to get into making the cars look recognizable, not just rectangles and circles. But I want to be able to look at that and have people see, that's a 1971 Mustang Fastback, clearly, in every shot. I want them to be, because cars are cool, man. I mean, when you had comic books when you were a kid, you also had Hot Wheels, you had Matchbox cars, you had slot racers. I used to have slot racers all along the back wall here until I had to move some stuff back in here from the shop that I was renting. So. Car chase, okay, car accident, kills Pap and cripples Melody at 7, 8. I'm not, this is all still kind of fluid. So that is what causes our main character, our main person, Shane, to pick up the meat hook mantle. He's torn between two things that he needs to find out who did this to Pap, and also feels like his daughter is not safe and he needs to protect her. He can't run. He can't run, so he picks up the he makes the helmet and his armor underneath, and tries and goes out to effect some justice on maybe like a little kid that had been abused. Now the entire time that what's happening is that his daughter is going to be in physical therapy, so we're going to meet characters there in the hospital, and we might see Darren here in a panel or something like that where we just see him, but he hasn't actually met anybody. And what's going to happen is eventually there's a girl that works with Shane, like an employee. You know, when you get busy, you got to have help, and he's no different. But he has this and I'm going to find it right here because I was watching some videos the other night, and I'm going to find this one of the bands that I really have been into lately. Ed Daisies, Mexico. Okay, I'm going to share. Yeah, I'm going to share this screen. Come on. All right. Am I already sharing audio? Oh, wait. Okay. I know exactly where this is at 44 seconds. Okay, so Trish is another character. She's this little Chicano chick who makes all her workwear look hot. You know, she's like a little full of juice, and Southwestern. You know, she's just like a little lowrider hottie. And I was watching this video, which is full of strippers. I'm like, well, no, it's not what we're going for. But I just had this playing in the background, and I happened to look up, and just for 1 second, this chick is there, and she's wearing the perfect face. This is exactly what I want his little helper Trish to look like. Not that. Right there. Right there. That's her. I mean, that's just that's a badass chick. That reminds me a little bit of Vasquez. Yeah, she's on the chunky side, but it's kind of like Kaylee and Firefly. Anyways, the point is, she has she's there in the shop where he's fabricating this stuff, so it's kind of hard to hide it all. So eventually she finds what he's been doing, dressing up at night and beating up abusive parents, and affecting vengeance on people, and the theme being, how hard could it possibly be to beat up these people? Their targets are children. But he does, he goes out with these, weapons that he's made in this, what would you call it? In this vestige that is supposed to, strike fear in the hearts of men. I don't know, dressing up like a bat would do that. Dressing up like you just escaped from an asylum would. So she finds out, and he basically makes her, promise that if something was to happen to him, that her family should make sure that Melody was always taken care of. But then she comes back and sees his 50 and raises him to 100 and introduces him to, like, the people that are in his circle are always customers. But I don't know that he's actually aware that the people that are his customers, that they all actually know each other. Darren here. Okay, that's the EMT has the van. And the other people that I was showing you, they also have their own cars, and they all belong to this car club. So the car club becomes the what would you call it? The car club becomes the speakeasy. Now there's other people in the club that don't know about what's going on, but he does. These are all going to be trusted compatriots, and I think it would add a lot of drama between the characters. One of them is going to be either I don't want to say a prosecutor. I think a DA would be more practical. And there's I believe there's going to be a priest involved. There's a lot of room for a lot of human story in here. And to be completely honest, I've gotten to this one point where I'm like, I need a writer. So I think I'm going to start looking a little bit harder for that. I don't like the way this foot is. I think you guys could tell that I was kind of like dying out near the end. I've been yawning. It's 4:11 in the morning. My wife is probably going to wonder who I was talking to, but I'll be able to explain that. Yeah, like right here. See, I can see here. Well, what do I want to do? Like this. Arm is in the wrong position. It needs to do something else. Like it needs to do this, and maybe that, I'm not sure. Yeah, but there's other tweaks that need to be made. I'm going to save this in ASPHALT. Yes. Darren. And then I'm going to bail. I'm going to try this again. I want to try this over the weekend and send out some invites and give people some time to show up. It would be really cool to be able to discuss a project like this and get some insight from a couple of different people and anybody else who happens to show up in the chat. And maybe, hopefully, it will work. But I'll see if I can get out to, inviting other people, and we'll see what happens. I know Saturday's the big fight between Fraga and John, but it's possible that I might be able to get a couple of people in there over on Sunday. Who knows? And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. But it's really hard to just like show up here. Shane usually comes on at like 2, which is right when I get home, which is unless I switch things around a lot. This is when I can start. I have to go. Sometimes I got to go across the street and work on motorcycle parts. And then sometimes like today, I had another project going on in the other garage. And but yeah, the learning curve is. I'm not afraid of it. I'm a little frustrated that it's taking so long. I'm surrounded by tools that I need to take. I need to take time to figure out how to use. Like there's cables all over the house. Not one of them is going to hook this up to my computer. So it's another thing. There's some stuff that I can find on YouTube, but then there's some stuff that is so specific. You're like, no, can't do it because the thing that it's not my computer. It's a Mac. It doesn't have HDMI on the back. It's this going out, going in, blah, blah, blah. And whatever. But yeah, I think I'm going to be I'm going to be ending this broadcast, going up and brushing my teeth and crawling into the sack. So until then, this is the Comic Artist Evolution. I'm Dave for ID Crisis Design. I'll talk to you cats later.